Count on it.
When the summer ends, the beach chairs get stored away while the summer sun grows cooler. After the holidays, the decorations come down and the slow gray winter approaches. When the baseball season ends, there is a void, a very long, drawn-out emptiness. There's no cracks of the bat, no pops of the mitt, nothing to celebrate, and no one to give you that big hug when you need it most. Well, congratulations, Phillies fans. You've made it through. Welcome back. Oh, it's been about 5 months since the last time the Phillies played a baseball game. Charlie Manuel and everybody else back here in spring training. It's so good to see him. It's so good to see all the faces around Clearwater. How about that guy had a hole-in-one the other day? Kyle Schwarber ready to go. So is Trey Turner. Been working on defense and a little more of the offense. Simone Muzziotti doing a little tracking. And how about on the backfield? So much activity, including a little Paco ball or pickleball, depending on what time of the day it is. Spring Training 2024 is upon us, and the Phillies get set for Game 2 of their spring schedule against the Yankees. And Aaron Nola getting ready to make that start for the Phils after signing his contract extension this past offseason, and he'll be in Philadelphia for a very long time. Hey, everybody, I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Ben Davis. Happy to be back with you for Phillies baseball as we get set for another, what hopes to be great year for the Phils. And it is good to be back just to see all the faces. Everybody's smiling, everybody ready to go.
It's so nice to see everybody and hear that crack of the mitt and the crack of the bat. It's just a great place to be here in Clearwater, obviously, and we will not tell everybody back in the Delaware Valley just how nice the weather is down here in Clearwater.
Well, the weather is pretty good right now. All right, so let's talk about this past offseason and all the changes that have taken place for the Phillies. Aaron Nola signed a 7-year contract. Whit Merrifield brought in, and he's been a great addition. Bryce Harper is now going to be the everyday first baseman, which means that Rhys Hoskins moves on to the Milwaukee Brewers, where he signed a 2-year deal worth $34 million, but he does have an opt-out. Obviously, it's Aaron Nola, though, that seems to be the key acquisition for the Phils this offseason.
It was a must-sign for the Phillies, and the Phillies lengthened him to that 7-year contract, $172 million. Yes, it's a lot of money, but he has deserved every penny of it since his tenure here in Philadelphia began so many years ago. He is a consummate professional. He just eats up innings, and that's something that he's going to have to continue to do for these Philadelphia Phillies. But we saw in the wild card game against the Fish last year, dominant performance, and that's something you can look more out of Aaron Nola in years to come.
So durable is one thing that people talk about with Aaron Nola. Strikeout pitcher is also what they talk about. But think about this. Since 2016, this is the list he sits on as far as innings pitched goes. That is important. Now, the Phillies have added to their depth this year from a starting pitching standpoint, but it was priority number one for them to bring Aaron Nola back so they can have that stability in the rotation. 1 and 2 with Zach Wheeler. All right, here we go. Our first telecast of Spring Training 2024. Lineups and first pitch when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Dear winter, 22 all-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive Toyotas are ready. Toyota, let's go places. By the Xfinity 10G network, the future starts now. By Citizens, official bank of the Phils. And by Independence Blue Cross. Learn more at IVX.com. Back here at Baycare Ballpark. Spring training for everybody, man. Used to be something else. Baycare Ballpark in Clearwater, Florida. They're anticipating more than 10,000 on hand today for the first game of the year here in Clearwater. Let's look at the Yankees lineup, brought to you by the Xfinity 10G network. The future starts now. You know, it used to be you have to bring 4 major leaguers with you to visiting places, but that's all changed in baseball. Though Marcus Stroman is starting today for the New York Yankees. They have a split squad, so they're playing a game in Tampa as we speak. That's where Aaron Boone is, but that was their lineup. There's Aaron Nola. Nola last year, 32 starts. He had 193 2/3 innings and 202 strikeouts. And he's excited to be back, talking with him this week, looking forward to spending truly the rest of his career in a Philadelphia Phillies uniform. All right, so here we go. Osvaldo Peraza will lead things off for the Yankees. He's playing shortstop today. First pitch of today's ball game is brought to you by Bryant. Whatever it takes. Out of Brent's sunshiny afternoon, this Sunday afternoon begins with Aaron Nola's first pitch. And it's in there for strike. Mark Carlson calling the balls and strikes today. Phillies will send Nola out there today, Ben. Jeff Hoffman will pitch. Mick Abel is scheduled to pitch as well. Matt Strahm, Sir Anthony Dominguez. A couple of minor leaguers are on the roster as well. Mick Abel may throw today. He's on the list to throw. Last year, Peraza, 191 of the big leagues with 2 home runs and 14 runs batted in. Back in 2022, he played 18 games for the Yankees at 306. He taps that one foul. And 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Peraza signed with the Yankees back in 2016 as an international free agent.
Yeah, now 23 years old from Venezuela. And the 1-2 from Nola up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Phillies infield defense behind Aaron. Weston Wilson is over at third base. Trey Turner's at shortstop. Bryson Stott is at second, and Derek Hall is over at first. Derek looks great, by the way.
Sure does. They all do.
Yep. Swing at a foul. Stubbs took a piece of that one. There remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. In the outfield, Cave is in left. Pache is in center. And Nick Castellanos is in right. And Garrett Stubbs stretching his neck out a little bit. Moving his appendages after taking that foul ball is behind the plate.
He got smoked on Friday during the live batting practice. Caught one on the inner thigh. That never feels good.
And a called strike 3. That's a pitch that was a thing of beauty on the outside part of the plate. 1 away here in the first.
Well, that's a good way to start spring training for Aaron Nola. Just dots Peraza on the outside corner. 2-seamer. Gives up on it. Nice job presenting that pitch there by Stubbs.
Here's Austin Wells. The Yankees got a look at him last year. 4 home runs, 13 runs batted in. And he whacks that one foul behind home plate. And the count is no balls and 1 strike. Did you flinch on that, Ben?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I thought it was coming right in here.
Netting is a little higher here at Baycare Ballpark behind home plate. Just off the inner half. And 1 ball and 1 strike. Down and away. It's been a fun few days so far here in Philly spring training camp. Just getting a chance to see everybody and watching them work. A lot of defensive work. Swing and a miss. He slowed that one up 79 miles an hour. Charlie Manuel's here in camp. Great to see Charlie.
He looks great.
We sat for a while the other day while batting practice was going on. Rob Thompson happy that he's here. Larry Bowa is here. Ball's pulled foul. It remains 2-2.
So every time we mention Larry Bowa, how much longer do we have to say hole in one Larry Bowa?
Well, I think for the rest of his life.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Once you sink a hole in one, it follows you wherever you go. In fact, he'll be introduced with that as part of his biography moving forward.
Of course.
The ball smoked and picked on one hop by Derek Hall. Aaron Nola's there to cover. 3-1 on the putout. No rust over there.
That ball was cooked, but Derek Hall up to the challenge. Goes into the half slide here, ranging to his right. Ball has a lot of top spin on it. I think initially Aaron thought that ball was going to get through.
I think everybody thought that ball was going to get through.
Aaron just a bit tardy getting over there to cover. Big fella. Lets everyone know we got 2 down.
Well, here is Osvaldo Cabrera, and he swings through the first pitch. Switch hitter who last year hit .211 with 5 home runs and 29 runs batted in. Switch hitter, but he is going to bat left-handed against left-handed pitching at times this year. So not totally discarding the chance to be a switch hitter because there is an advantage to it. Said Aaron Boone is with the team, the other part of the split squad. So is Brad Ausmus. So Luis Rojas, the former manager of the Mets, and now the third base coach for the Yankees, is managing the team today.
Lots of experience with that coaching staff for the Yankees. That's Sean Casey's the hitting coach.
A little low, 3-1.
As you mentioned, Brad Ausmus, former manager, be the bench coach.
Little tapper foul. That one got a piece of Cabrera. So it remains, or it moves to 3 balls and 2 strikes. They'll give him a moment.
This place is mobbed.
It's packed. Yeah, it's packed.
There's no room out there. Wonder if we'll get our guy back that just goes out there and naps face down.
I would think that he will be back. I mean, why change tendencies now?
Exactly.
Popped up. Short right. Stott's giving it a look. Castellanos giving it a call, and he'll make the catch as he sneaks his way in. And the side is retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Yankees. Nice start for Aaron Nola.
Plus, for a limited time, get a free indoor camera. Learn more at Xfinity.com/free camera. Switch today.
Back here in Clearwater, after the Yankees went down 1-2-3, Arenado threw 18 pitches in his half of the first. Here's the Phillies lineup, brought to you by the Xfinity 10G network. The future starts now. Trey Turner leads it off. Bryson Stott, Nick Castellanos. Weston Wilson is the third baseman today, batting fifth. The first pitch from Marcus Stroman is in there for strike, and the count is no balls and one strike. Marcus Stroman signed this past offseason by the Yankees. Facing Trey Turner. 0-2.
Two years, $37 million. He is a strike thrower.
One-two pitch. Take it outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Former first rounder out of Duke University. You ever do a basketball game there at Cameron Indoor?
Yes.
You
awesome.
have?
Yes. I've done 3 radio games there.
Really?
It's really different, and I would tell everybody to go do it. Ball hit foul, and it remains 3-2. All right. Fly ball, center field. Allen going back. He's under it, and he makes the catch. The wind was not overwhelming yesterday in Dunedin, but it was blowing a little bit more than it's blowing here today. A lot of times in spring training, the ball gets up in the wind here. Like the other day when we left the complex, I mean, it was windy.
It was howling.
Here's Bryson Stott. Bryson, fiance Drew, welcome to baby girl this past November. 0-1. Coming off a fantastic year a season ago. Hit .280 with 15 home runs and 62 runs batted in. On the outside corner, 0-2. Now comfortable in his role with the team, and I think everybody's looking for an even better year. Whacks that one out to left field. It's going to hang up there, though, as Pereira makes the catch. 2 outs.
Very productive spring training out right there. Hit a ball hard, you don't have to run.
Well, now Nick Castellanos coming up. Nick last year, 29 home runs, 106 runs batted in. But he said he struck out way too much a season ago. So that's one of the goals this year. It seems to be a goal across the board for the Phillies lineup as a whole, is to cut down on the strikeouts.
Well, especially when they're not hitting the long ball, they got to find other ways to manufacture some runs. And Nick making a concerted effort this spring just to keep the chase percentage down. Put more balls in play.
No balls and 2 strikes. And it's 2-2. Stroman, he signed a 2-year, $37 million contract with the Yankees. He's got an option for a 3rd year. He was coming off a solid season. He was an all-star last year for just the 2nd time in his career. He had 10 wins, a 3.95 ERA.
Not easy to do at Wrigley. But I think it's a good pickup for the Yankees in the fact that you need the guys that keep the ball down, and nobody does that better than Stroman. And you can utilize that sinker, keep the ball in the ballpark, a place that hits a lot of home runs.
Fly ball to right field. Lockridge is hovering. The inning is over. Phillies go down 1-2-3 in their half of the first inning. We have played our first inning of baseball here in Clearwater. We are on to the second. Top of the second inning. Aaron Nola going back to work after 18 pitches in the first inning. Again, it is jam-packed here this afternoon in Clearwater, Florida. I was out in Arizona yesterday and drove by the Angels facility. They played the Dodgers yesterday, and Tommy and I were coming back from a basketball game as Nola delivers the first pitch, and it's in there for a strike. And it was amazing how many people were at that game, because you can see it from the road.
It's one of my favorite places to play in spring training.
With the mountains in the background.
It was awesome.
No balls and one strike. Take it down. 1 ball, 1 strike. But I think if you watched any of the games that have been on the air, whether it be on the local RSNs or on MLB Network, attendance just with the naked eye looks like it's through the roof already in the first few days. 1-2.
I think a lot of folks just wanted to get out of the weather.
Could have.
I mean, with the storms that we had this winter and the snow, and it has not been ideal, although it hasn't been great down here from what the locals are telling us. It's been dreary and cold, but not today.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Pereira is 22 years old, from Venezuela. Top 100 prospect in the Yankees organization. Played 27 games in the big leagues last year. Also split some time between AA and AAA. Hit 300 between the two. 18 home runs.
Say his bat is his best tool. Signed as a 16-year-old for $1.5 million.
Nice.
Although I will say, he's going to have to cut back on the strikeouts. Last year, in 93 at-bats, he had 40 strikeouts. That is not ideal.
Got a call. Strike 3 right on cue. Second strikeout for Nola. And 1 away. Be part of McDonald's opening night as baseball returns to Citizens Bank Park during opening weekend. Saturday, March 30th at 4:05 against the Braves. Fans 15 and older will receive a Fightins t-shirt. Visit Phillies.com today to secure your tickets. Here's Jose Rojas. Yeah, the pitch outside. Aaron Nola looks crisp today, Ben.
Working extremely quickly.
Well, and that's part of the goal, is to keep having a better pace, even with base runners on. And he's going to have to, like everybody else in baseball, because the pitch timer is less this year than it even was last year. And the clock will start as soon as the ball arrives back to the pitcher. It does not matter where the pitcher is standing. Pitcher could be at the foot of the mound and has to walk back, but that's when the timer will start. That's all part of the new rules this year. 2 balls and 1 strike to Rojas. Three and 1.
Just another way MLB is trying to improve on already what I think most people would agree is a great idea. I mean, what it did for the game last year.
A high fly ball to right field. Room for Castellanos about 5 or 6 steps in front of the track, and there are 2 outs. Well, this is what Ben was talking about, the time by month last year and how it changed. And people were wondering, why was it getting longer at the end? And I always told people this offseason is because some of those games became more important. So there was, I'm not saying there was a pullback of the rules in some cases, but I think people were understanding how to even manipulate the rules a little bit more.
Plus, I think, early on in the season, I just think the offense started to go up as well as it started to get hotter throughout the course of the summer, July, August, September, as you saw those numbers starting to increase.
There's the veteran Greg Allen.
But you're right, though. People were starting to figure out, how can I manipulate this a little bit?
And low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. I think also, catchers understood how they could stop the clock from starting and could stop it in the middle for a pitcher. Swing and a miss. Aaron Nola, 3 strikeouts through 2. Most likely he's done. 6 up, 6 down for the Phillies right-hander. That had some jump on it, didn't it?
Mid-season form.
We'll head to the bottom of the 2nd here in Clearwater. Time now for our Citizen Stats leaders. The Phillies last year, the first time in franchise history with 6 players with 20 home runs or more. Led by Kyle Schwarber with 47. Who's DHing here this afternoon.
That's a lot of homers.
Well, it's funny. We had our conversation with Dave Dabrowski and Rob Thompson the other day, just as we always do before the season begins. And everything's pretty much the same as last year as far as players go. We didn't go too detailed in like we normally do. There's Dave. Jorge Velandia explaining the game of baseball with his red hat on. 1 ball or no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, not a whole lot of moves that Dave had to make. There's really just a couple spots available for the roster.
Kyle DHing today and will be the primary DH in 2024, but he will play the outfield. In fact, Rob Thompson made that clear that he's going to need to play the outfield as he's down on strikes. That one tied him up.
Topper said we got to get guys off their feet, so he's going to. And Kyle wants to be out there.
I was going to say, again, as much as he's embraced the fact that the Phillies lineup is probably overall better if he's DHing, he also wants to be able to play a little bit. Weston Wilson will stand in. Wilson set a record last year for home runs at Lehigh Valley. Hit a home run yesterday. One of the 3 the Phillies hit against the Blue Jays.
Man, quite a day. That whole offense. Was it the 5th inning they scored the 10 runs?
Yeah, they were pretty busy. The homer double drove in 4. I think he won the golf outing the other day too, didn't he? Or he was finished in the top 3.
They did. Well, the winning pitcher from yesterday has an 18 ERA. The losing pitcher has an 81 ERA.
Gonna be tough to get that down, isn't it?
A lot of runs scored in yesterday's contest.
One ball and 2 strikes. That one just off the plate. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And Stroman's really switching up his looks, isn't he? It's quick pitching. He's holding his leg up in the air.
Yeah, the step back where he pauses, that he has done. He also has a lot of pitches that he throws.
Like that 45-footer?
Yeah, that's just a show-me pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Wilson. Line drive, base hit. It's a left center field. First hit of the day for the Phils. Well, Weston Wilson's off to a good couple of days. He opened eyes last spring, just as Derek Hall did.
It's a big man with a short swing. And his ability to play all over the field. He can run. He's back on that breaking ball nicely.
Well, now Derek Hall, who did have a good spring last year, and with the injury to Rhys Hoskins, it was so good he made the club out of spring training before injuring his thumb on April 5th. That cost him. He had a battle back from injuries. Last spring, he had 5 home runs, hit .316. Now 28 years old.
Such a nice young man. It's funny, Scott and I were talking to him this morning, and he was talking about one of his former teammates, and he goes, yeah, that guy, what a big donkey he is. And Scott and I looked at each other like, wait, you're saying that someone is a big donkey?
That's funny. Off the end of the bat, foul past Dusty Wathan. And there remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. off the hands. They'll find the seats. And the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tiki bar is packed as well.
Why wouldn't it be?
Tiki bar is always packed. Usually the first spring training game, there's seats available. But today, they got it rolling here at this great ballpark.
What else are you going to do on a beautiful Sunday afternoon?
Check swing, 3-2.
I would think that Wilson be off running here.
1 out here in the second, scoreless ball game. Phillies and the Yankees. Yankees are up 2-0 in their other game. In case you're following along. Wilson doesn't go.
Had himself quite the lead, though, didn't he?
He did.
Way out there.
Paco Figueroa, the first base coach for the Phillies, back again. He handles the base running and put in the pickleball court / Paco ball court out in the backfields.
Have to play with your glove hand.
And there's ball 4. So that puts runners on first and second with 1 away, and Christian Pache is coming up.
If you're wondering why they're playing the pickleball, Paco said it helps with communication. When you're outfield, here's a pickleball. You got to play with your glove hand. So if you throw right-handed, you got to play with your glove hand. But he said it helps with communication, helps with agility.
He said it also loosens them up in the morning before they go through all the drills. He said it's just trying to do something different. Pickleball or Paco ball has become very popular. Pache takes low, 1 ball and no strikes. In fact, it was very entertaining when we were walking through the backfields. Me and Scott Fransky, and I think Murph was back there too. First time we saw it, we looked and said, looks like a pickleball court. And it was. That'll be a base hit for Pache. They'll score Weston Wilson. We've got some base running issues in spring training, but it's not going to hurt the Phils because Rumfield got away from the first base bag. So an RBI single. The Phillies are on top 1-0.
The ball smoked.
Yeah, that ball was hit right on the nose.
Right past Jeter down to third base. Another breaking ball here. Pache covers it. And he's thinking Derek Hall is going to get to third base. Derek Hall drops anchor at second, and Pache almost ran him off the bag.
So 1-0 Phils, and Jake Cave is the batter. And Cave lifts that one out towards center. Allen is under it. Tagging is Derek Hall. Derek's going to get to third base. 2 outs, first and third.
Good swing there by Cave. Just missed it.
And that'll bring Garrett Stubbs up.
I like this play here by Derek Hall to tag up. I know there's 2 outs, but there's a lot of different ways you can score now.
What makes it even easier when it's on that side of the second base bag, it's just a couple extra steps.
A wild pitch, pass ball.
And he lines that one into right field, a base hit. It'll score Derek Hall. Pache's on his way to third. And Garrett Stubbs with an RBI single. First pitch swinging. And the Phillies lead it 2-0. That's probably going to be it for Stroman.
That's a good approach by the Phillies, knowing that Stroman's going to be in the strike zone. Telling yourself, this pitch is mine if I want it. Ball was blistered to right field, and Derek Hall scores easily. Not saying he wouldn't have scored from second base, but a little easier when you're on third.
Well, Marcus Stroman's day is done, but you can never assume in spring training ball. Sometimes they come back out to start the next inning. I doubt that'll happen here. Phillies lead it 2-0. We'll be back right after this. Our Phillies pregame live ticket package is back for 2024. 6 games only. Get this exclusive hat. There it is. An awesome seat and a chance to meet the pregame crew. First game is April 11th. The tickets are limited, so grab yours now at Phillies.com/pregame package. Matt Keating is the new pitcher for the Yankees, as Marcus Stroman goes an inning and 2/3. And here's Trey Turner. And Turner takes inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Matt Keating out of USC, drafted in the 9th rounds by the Yankees. He was a hitter and a pitcher in college.
I still don't know why there's not more of them. I just, it just seems like they just go and they turn, well, you're only going to pitch and you're only going to hit.
It could have been his 0 for 13 in college. Maybe that turned them off. But I do agree with you. You wonder, even with Shohei Ohtani, why more aren't starting to do it.
Especially at the collegiate level. I kind of get it.
Runner goes, pitch popped up. Left side of the infield.
Wow. Hang time.
Perez and Downs fighting it, and it's off the glove of Perez. A run scores. Stubbs kept on running. Phillies lead it 3-0.
That was like a punt. It was up there so long.
Well, nobody called for a fair catch, though. That'll go down as an E6.
Just looks very unsure.
This is what we saw during the Open today. Simone Muzziotti was tracking the baseball. Spring training skies are no joke. As Bryson Stott takes strike 1, it's 0-1.
Peraza did not listen to Jamie Moyer and used 2 hands.
I think he was fortunate that he even had the 1 hand close to it.
Yeah, right.
Oh, 0-2 to Stott. Stott flied out to left field his first time up.
We'll try this again.
I was going to say he may get another chance. Peraza under it, waiting. 2 hands. Yeah, the inning is over, but the Phillies put a 3 spot up on the board here in the second. They leave a couple. We'll head to the third. 3-0 Phils. Top of the third inning, Matt Strahm will take over for the Phils. He takes over for Aaron Nola. Aaron goes 2 innings, 3 strikeouts. They look crisp. In fact, averaging about 93 miles an hour on his 3 strikeouts. Strahm last year 9-5. And Aaron joins us down here in the dugout. Aaron, thanks for joining us, buddy. We appreciate it.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, that looked pretty good. Did it feel good?
Yeah, it felt really good. Felt good to get back out in front of fans, game situation, and try to work on all the pitches and try to fill up the zone. So it felt good to get back out.
Aaron, you had a great pace today. Something you're trying to work on even more during the spring training?
Yeah, I feel like it took me a little while to get used to that pitch clock last year. So I feel like I'm used to it a little bit more right now, and I just want to get back in that routine and trying to work a little bit quicker and have a little bit more time on the clock when I do get back on the mound. So it felt good today, and I think it'll keep feeling better.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that we were talking about how the time of game, it lifted a little bit as the season went on. You guys got more used to it, but you have to sort of, I don't know, get yourself settled into it again because it's even less this year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we do it every day or for starters, every 5-6 games, and it just takes time. Last year it just took time to get used to it in every situation, a strikeout, a base hit, a walk, a single, double, triple, a run. So it just took a lot of time for myself especially, and it's just, you need more reps. You need more reps, and that's why spring training is so good for it, and I'm glad, we had a year under our belt to get used to it.
Aaron, the slider or cutter that you were featuring today is something I know you threw a handful of them last year, but it's definitely a point of emphasis for you moving forward.
For sure, yeah. Obviously, I've had 3 pitches my whole career up here and worked the cutter in the past few years since 2021, I believe, and threw a little bit more in 22. I was on and off last year, just depending on how it felt. Today felt good, so I really want to use that pitch a little bit more, and to righties and lefties.
Well, we're taking a look at some of the highlights right now, and around the strike zone, I think that's the biggest thing, and the movement was really good. You mentioned trying to use all your pitches. Aaron, that to me is one of the biggest changes in baseball over the last couple of years. You guys come in such great shape that you don't have to just throw fastballs those first outings. You can start working early on everything.
For sure. Obviously, the fastball command is number one coming into spring training, and the game's getting started, and everything stems off of that, right? Obviously, the changeup I'm going to try to work on a little bit more. I want to get that more consistent, and the cutter, obviously, I throw a lot of curveballs, and I feel like everybody knows it.
Yeah.
But obviously, I want to keep that sharp as well. So, just like you said, T-Mac, just to get out there and make sure every pitch is crisp right off the bat. I feel like I've had quite a few spring trainings now, and I kind of know how to go about it and kind of know what I want to accomplish each outing going up into the season.
You got to tell everybody, what was the feeling like this offseason? Was it different because of the contract and having to negotiate? Was it was there anxiety at all to it, and was there excitement to it?
No anxiety. Obviously, it was different because the reality was that I was a free agent, and
right.
There was no guarantees Philadelphia was going to sign me back, right? So I had to exercise free agency, but I'm very grateful that we got the deal done soon, just to get everything squared away, housing-wise and living situation, and being able to come here in the off-season and train with our strength coaches and our trainers was, it's definitely a blessing. And just to be around the guys again, I feel like nothing's changed too much.
How much does it mean to you that you're going to be able to start your career and finish your career in Philadelphia? Most likely, to end your career here. And I mean, obviously, the city has embraced it, has embraced you, you've embraced it. It's just really a perfect marriage.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge blessing. It really is. I'm so grateful to be able to come up in a system in 2015 in a rebuilding team, and to still be on the squad and be a part of a team that we are now. The organization has made some huge strides, and I'm so glad to be a part of that. And I feel like not many players get to experience a rebuilding phase and a non-rebuilding phase throughout their career. So I'm super grateful for that, and I'm looking forward to the future and what we can do this year.
I do agree with you. Like when you walk in and you see all these familiar faces, there is something to that, isn't it? Just to have these guys, to have familiar faces around all the time.
Absolutely. Obviously, we know how to play with each other. We know how to be with each other in the clubhouse and off the field. So that plays a huge part in our winning over here. Everybody likes each other, which is a big thing, and our chemistry is super good. So it makes it really easy to come to the field every day and very enjoyable.
Well, Aaron, we are so happy you're back. We were happy to see you pitch here today, and we look forward to catching up as the season goes on.
Yeah,
buddy.
thank you, guys. Thanks for having me on today.
All right, Aaron Nola, our guest. While he was on, Jake Cave was on as well, wasn't he? Made a fantastic diving catch on a TJ Rumfield fly ball. Yeah, the Phillies are crisp right now through 3. We'll be back with the bottom of the 3rd right after this. Phillies baseball is brought to you by your local Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer or visit DelValHondaDealers.com. Jeff Hoffman warming up in the bullpen. Marcus Stroman is back again to start the 3rd. We told you there's no real rules in spring training. Now, he could be facing one batter, and that's it. Got Castellanos, Schwarber, and Weston Wilson. So that line that we talked about, 1 2/3, 3 hits, 3 runs.
Throw it right out the window.
1 walk and 1 strikeout. You may have to add some things to it. You're most likely going to have to at least add an inning, a 1/3 of an inning, I should say. You have to add another base hit, too, as Castellanos is aboard with a leadoff single.
Amazing what you can do if you keep your hands back. Whole body out in front, but you keep those hands back, good things can happen. He stays through it. Line drive into left center.
Yeah, that'll bring Kyle Schwarber to the plate. Schwarber struck out his first time up.
See Kyle in the 4-hole today. Something that Rob Thompson is going to tinker with in spring training. This lineup, he does have a lot of options. Big green fella's back.
Yes, he is. Two balls, no strikes to Schwarber, 2-1. Talk when Kyle came into camp was, well, about the new baby. fact, he and his wife his wife Paige welcomed their second son Asher right before spring training. But also just trying to cut down on the strikeouts as well. He had the most 2-strike counts last year in Major League Baseball. So as Kevin Long told a lot of the reporters the last couple weeks, they wanted to be a little more aggressive early in counts. And he lines that one on one hop into shallow right field. Soft line drive. It'll go down as a 4-3. Yeah, that'll send Castellanos up to second base. It's not too late to join the Phils family as a season ticket holder for the upcoming year. Plan holders receive benefits such as postseason ticket access to exclusive events, preferred parking options, and so much more. Visit Phillies.com/season for more information. And you also get to see the Fanatic wherever you go in the ballpark.
That's a healthy cut right there by Wilson.
Wilson singled and scored his last time up, his first time up today. This is the other part of the game that I guess has subtly changed in my mind, and maybe I'm wrong about it, but you played, so you probably could agree or disagree with this. So Stroman in start 1 in spring training is he's above 40 pitches. You never used to see guys with this many pitches in his first outing, right?
Never.
Is that a result of people being in better shape, more training in the offseason? What is it?
And you look at that number there, 50 pitches. I think it has a lot to do with the off-season training and the fact that these guys need to get their work in because of the scheduled off days in spring training.
There are a lot more.
Yes.
There are a lot more.
We just never had those. If you got an off day in spring training, it's because the manager came up to you and said,
"You have an off day.
you don't even have to come in tomorrow." That was your only off day. And now it's a lot different.
The other part of it too is now Tampa's not far from Clearwater. It's about 25 minutes, right?
Right.
Depending on traffic. There's a called strike 3. Players don't go on the road that often anymore.
Not your marquee players anyway.
Well, here comes Rojas. So we think this is it for Stroman again. Or maybe he'll come out and pitch the start of the 4th inning.
But yeah, I would agree. You very rarely would ever see a pitcher in their first start ever go past 25 pitches. It usually would go like 25 pitches. Your next start, you'd make 40 pitches.
Correct. So Stroman is done for a second time. We'll be back right after this. Monday at 7:30, NBC 10 brings you their Welcome Home Phillies season preview. Exclusive interviews, Bryce Harper, Dave Dombrowski, Bryson Stott, Dickie Knowles shares his knowledge with kids from the RBI leagues, and me. Yeah, that's me, Ben, right there. Wearing my Fanatic pullover. That's available at the New Era Team Store, by the way. It is a great pullover.
Tom, way to make the promo.
Thank you very much. And we'll also preview the team's trip to London through the eyes of a passionate British Phillies fan. I wonder who that is. It's got to be Dave, right? Well, here's Ron Marinaccio. Jersey native, University of Delaware product, former Trenton General.
Blue Hens.
No balls and 1 strike. I basically gave a little bit of a tour, a little history lesson on the 20-year anniversary of Citizens Bank Park. We walked around some spots where people may not generally see. It was fun. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Were there any places you had not been to that you just, oh, wow, this is new to me?
No, that's a really good question. 1 ball, 1 strike. Marinaccio went to Toms River North High School. He's a Mariner, Ben. He's a Yankee now, but he played for the Toms River North Mariners in high school. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2. You know who else played there?
Who?
Jerry DiPoto, the general manager of the Seattle Mariners.
Can't believe I didn't get that.
Well, 1 and 2. Some of us do more research than others, Ben. Ball's hit foul over our heads and out of play.
There's got to be one spot in the ballpark you've never been to.
I was just thinking about that. I have not been at the top of the video board in left field. There is a ladder. No?
I don't know if that would suit you the best to be up there.
Swinging a foul tip, and Derek Hall is down on strikes. Remember we went to the Hyatt Inside Pub some years ago and Wheels said, "Where's that?" Behind home plate, Wheels. We'll be back after this. Baseball's better with friends and family, so bring your team to see ours at Citizens Bank Park. Group tickets are available for $25 or more by going to Phillies.com/group tickets. Mr. Spring Training is in perfect voice. See, Ben, you could have asked him for his binoculars.
I could have.
His head is always on a swivel, isn't it?
Mr. Spring Training.
Shortstop, Oswald Peraza.
He has those R's rolling, huh? You know, we mentioned this the other day, as Jeff Hoffman will come on for the Phils. And Peraza will bend back.
Get off my plate.
Mentioned this the other day that Larry Boa had a hole-in-one at Bel Air, which is the home course of Chris Wheeler. And one of the best reactions was when I texted Wheels and said, "I just saw Larry Boa hit a hole-in-one." He goes, "Oh, I know. He already called me." Ground ball up to shortstop. To his left, Trey Turner. He gobbles that one up smoothly. One away. I guess which leads us into our next conversation about defense and how hard in the first 10 days or so of spring training that this team is working on their defense. So Rob Thompson told us priority number one is health for this team. But the other part of it is working on overall team defense. And Trey, as he described the other day when asked about his defense last year, he said it was brutal. He said, I don't think I'm the best fielder in the world, but at the same time, I don't think I'm the worst. So working on footwork and positioning.
He had a very long discussion with Bobby Dickerson today. Look at Bryson Stott, who I think had an unbelievable year defensively.
Yes, he did.
Last year for the Phils. But Turner and Bobby, they were very in-depth conversation about how Bobby wants him to present his hands and working through the baseball. That's probably the one thing that Bobby teaches his infielders more than anything else, working through the baseball.
Swing and a miss. And Hoffman picks up the team's 6th strikeout. Well, everybody, I think, knows our admiration for Bobby Dickerson as a coach, as an individual, really as a coach, though. If you're ever down here in spring training, because it's probably the one opportunity you can do it, and you get here early and watch infield work, I know it's not sexy by any stretch of the imagination, but I will say this, as that ball is golfed and crushed to deep right field. Castellanos is on the track, makes the catch. And the inning is over. I will say this, that the interaction between Bobby Dickerson and his infielders is some of the more entertaining baseball lingo you will ever hear. Phillies fans, the latest news and analysis from our team to your team is right at your fingertips. Scan this code, then scan that code, make sure it works, and connect with the NBC Sports Philadelphia app for the most up-to-date info on our team. That ball's hit well. Pache deep to left field, going back. Pereira at the wall. He jumps. It's gone. Christian Pache swinging at the first pitch. He's 2 for 2. 2 RBIs, and the Phillies are up 4-0.
Now, bullet to left field for RBI single. His last at bat, and then it goes up top.
Oof. That was right down the middle.
And elevated.
Yep.
A good swing there by the Phillies center fielder.
Well, Jake Cave now the hitter. Cave had a pretty good swing his first at bat. He flied out to center field, 0 for 1. Marinaccio now 28 years old. ground ball foul. Last year he had an ERA of 3.99. He pitched pretty well for the Yankees. One and two. Thought maybe he would change his number this year since he had some big league time last season, but that's the number he wore, and he's going to carry it over again as Pache greeted him with that home run.
Not a whole lot of options there with regards to the numbers.
Nope. Up and away, 2 and 2. In fact, if you ever watched any of the old baseball movies where the Yankees were featured when they all wore high numbers, that's basically what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Liner out to left field. Pereira.
Boy, a couple good swings by Jake Cave.
So 1 out, and here's Garrett Stubbs.
You know, I watched with Mickey last week.
What's that?
And if you ever get a chance, I know a lot of folks aren't into black and white movies, but we watched The Pride of the Yankees, Gary Cooper. It's an older film, but man, is it good.
It's a great movie.
The story of Lou Gehrig's life. It is just, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Mickey enjoyed it. He did say, "Dad, why is there no color?"
2 balls and no strikes to Stubbs. So I get a foul tip, 2-1. It is an oldie but a goodie. Marinaccio, we mentioned, goes to Toms River North High School. Went to Toms River North High School. Rob Everett just reminded me, and I forgot, that Mark Leiter Jr. also went to Toms River North. Thank you, Mark. I don't know how I forgot that. Mark Leiter Jr. may follow through and remind us that we should have known that. Stubbs draws the walk. In fact, it wouldn't shock me that he would text us to tell us that he went there. Trey Turner's now the hitter. There's Jose Alvarado. Turner is 0 for 2. He's flied out to center. He's also reached on an error on a pop-up. You know, we mentioned Trey and his defense.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it was the most errors he made last year, but still think back to that game 1 of the divisional round on that double play that he started against the Braves. That was one of the greatest plays you'll ever see.
It was awesome. I don't even know how he got to it.
High, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike to Trey. August 5th, hitting .236. Standing ovation from that time on. Hit .339 with 16 home runs and 41 runs batted in and an OPS over 1. It certainly was a tale of 2/3 and 1/3 of a season.
Mm-hmm.
His last third was one of the best ones you'll ever see.
He really put it together, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
The crazy part about the whole thing is his swing didn't look any different. You know, like some guys tweak different things and change their setup. He really didn't.
Well, he tinkered throughout the year, though.
He did. But like the setup, his path to the baseball, it just seems like he was more selective and not going outside the zone. And boy, did things just really click for him.
That just missed low, so back-to-back walks put 2 on with 1 out here in the 4th. Here we go. August 5th, the night after the ovation. That's against the Kansas City Royals, and it was a moment.
Place erupted.
All right, so Bryson Stott, the batter. He's 0 for 2. Fouls that one back to the screen. Pretty good hack.
After 2 walks, he's looking for first pitch fastball. He got it. Just fouled it right back. How many home runs do you think? He hit 15 last year. How many do you think are in his tank in a given year?
I would say it's more than 20, and that's an easy answer since it's only 5 more. But I do believe he can hit between 20 and 25 a year, because I just think he's going to get better and better.
Now he has that dad strength.
Right. In about 20 years, we'll have that dad bod. Nick Castellanos, the batter. The other part of it, though, is that I don't think he needs to hit between 20 and 25.
No.
But I do think that he can. Rob Thompson even mentioned him as a possible leadoff hitter for the team. Ground ball to third. Jeter Downs comes up with it and is able to retire Trey Turner. And the inning is over. Phillies do get a run, though, on the Pache first pitch home run. We've played 4. We're heading to the 5th. Phillies up 4-0. What's new at the ballpark here at Baycare Ballpark, including some of the new clothing items that are at the Diamond Outfitters. It's a great place to collect whatever you want. And also some of the new grub that's here, including Manco and Manco's has made its way down to Clearwater. Charlie's Homemade Italian Ice, Coco's Orange Crush, Coppertail's Philly-inspired cans, and Fallen Fruit Cider. Oh, Southwest Grill, Yangling is here. There's Manco and Manco's. It's on the first base side, and they are busy.
I wouldn't mind a slice right now.
Individual pies, Ben.
I wouldn't mind 5.
Chuck's here. Chuck from Manco and Manco is here. He'll be down here making sure everything's running efficiently. There's Jose Alvarado out of the bullpen. Alvarado will follow Jeff Hoffman, who went a scoreless inning. Last year, 42 games for Alvarado. 10 saves, 12 opportunities. Check swing, foul ball. It was just 98 on the hands.
98 on February 25th.
Facing Everson Pereira, the left fielder. He struck out looking his only time up. Good spot. Mark Carlson liked it.
99.
Do you think the 2 seconds difference in the clock with nobody on is going to make any big deal at all?
No.
Swing and a miss with some movement. 7 strikeouts today for Phillies pitching.
That's filthy.
It is.
That's ridiculous.
Do you think that moving from 20 seconds to 18 when nobody's on base, and now it changes obviously when there's a new batter, but do you think that they just felt the same way? Major League Baseball said it's not going to make any difference. Let's just take 2 more seconds off.
That's what I think. Hundo. I do think, you know, we're talking about the different rule changes. I do think the blocking of the base is going to have a bigger effect on the game. Infielders no longer allowed to block the base in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's 18 when somebody's on, I meant. My apologies. 15 still when nobody's on. Over to the right side. Should be an easy play for Stott. There are 2 outs.
Center fielder, Greg Allen.
McAble warming up in the bullpen for the Phils. Be nice to see him today. And here's Greg Allen. Allen struck out his first time up as well. He is just painting on that spot, isn't he?
He is. Well, that's what you want. You want that fastball command, obviously, throughout the course of the season, but early on in spring, that's what you heard Aaron Nola say the same thing. You know, fastball command, get that down, and all the other pitches can kind of follow after that.
And I also think for somebody like Jose, it's even more important to have that down.
Jose doesn't have to be as fine when you're throwing triple digits.
Particularly when you get 2 strikes.
Yeah.
Bought a nice cut on it. It's 2-2. Jose is one of the guys that will be among the closers this year. Rob Thompson said unless somebody really runs away with the job, he said, I'm not really thinking about naming anybody. 3-2. He feels like anybody he has back there can close. And I think part of that too is that there might be an 8th inning where he needs Jose Alvarado to get some outs against some tough lefties. That just missed. Not a bad spot.
Back to the cutter. 3-2 there. Good take by Allen, because you got to respect that. 97 to 102.
That's the first base runner of the day for the Yankees, Ben.
He will not have that perfect game parade, Tom.
No, no perfect game today. I felt good about it too. That gets away. Not gonna have that perfect game without any bruises either. A wild pitch.
Last thing you want to see is a 97-mile-an-hour fastball spiked. There's nothing you can do. You can't block it.
Jeter down, struck out his first time up. In fact, the Yankees have struck out 7 times so far. Phillies are going to get somebody up besides McAble, somebody that can come in and if they need to finish this inning off for Jose Alvarado. Runner goes, nobody covering. He's working on his base stealing.
He's working on your jumps.
Two and one.
Finish him off right here. Another fastball in here. What do you think?
I would say yes, although he went with a cutter before when the count was 3-2. Taylor Lehman is the lefty warming up in the bullpen with Mick Abel. Ground ball over to third. And Weston Wilson will finish up this inning. No runs, no hits, one man left. It was the first base runner for the Yankees. Perfect game is over here in Clearwater. We'll move to the bottom of the fifth. Phillies are on top 4-0 over the Yankees. Today's Spring Thing brought to you by Valley Forge in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. The impact signings for Major League Baseball this past offseason include Aaron Nola signing a 7-year deal with the Phillies. Bobby Witt Jr., who made an unbelievable play yesterday in the spring game for the Royals. 11 years, $288 million extension. And then, oh yeah, Shohei Ohtani and Yamamoto each signed with the Dodgers. Valley Forge sponsoring here. And Dwayne Underwood Jr. is going to be the new pitcher for the Yankees. They've got some other changes as well, which we'll get to in a moment. New catcher, Augustin Ramirez. That ball's hit high and far to right field. Lockridge going back. He says he has room, and he makes the catch. And Kyle Schwarber's retired.
Just hit the bottom of it.
Underwood last year with the Pirates at an ERA over 5. He is 29 years old, out of Marietta, Georgia, former second-round pick by the Cubbies. Spent the last 3 years in the Pirates organization. As Wilson takes strike one. Other changes for the Yankees. Jared Cerna is over at second base. Max Burt is at third, and Wilson Rodriguez is in left field.
Wholesale changes.
Bounce foul.
Sell that off his back foot.
You know what? It's a good question. I don't know if he did. Yeah, I guess he did. Since he's stretching it out.
Says he's all right. Mark Carlson, a.k.a. Ray Liotta, gave him a minute.
Fly ball, right field. Lockridge again. He's under it. He makes the catch, 2 outs. I'll bring Max Burt to the plate. Well, Kyle Schwarber's been nice enough to join us down in the dugout. Kyle, thanks for joining us today, my man. Whoop.
There we go.
There we go.
Hey, guys.
How you doing? Oh. I thought that one had a chance. I don't know, maybe a different day.
Nah, I missed it.
Oh, did you? Yeah,
it was a hit on the barrel. Just got it too high.
I said just hit the bottom of that one, didn't you?
Yeah. But we'll take it. We'll take it out like that.
Yeah, how you feeling? Are you feeling good?
Yeah, finally felt better. Kind of a little upset after the second at bat. I mean, it's spring training, right? But, the competitor gets in you.
Yeah.
But, happy to make a little bit of adjustment there and make it get out. I'll stay with you guys through the next half.
Their call flies out to center. We're going to stay during the break here, Kyle, so if that's okay. Is that all right?
Yeah.
So it turns out busy off season for you and Paige. How's Asher doing?
He's doing great. He's growing every day. It was a lot of fun. I was happy to be able to spend some time with him back home. I know they're watching right now, so
awesome.
Miss you guys, love you guys, and I can't wait to see you guys again.
What's your #1 priority in spring training this year, Kyle?
I think the biggest thing is just being able to make an adjustment to where, hitting the ball pretty much, it's easier said than done, hitting it where it's pitched, right? The pull rate was at an all-time high last year, and, I want to be able to make that adjustment to where, pitched away, I'm able to drive in the left center, using the whole field pretty much. I felt like that, you want to be, obviously the year was a year, right? We did great, drove in a lot of runs, hit some homers, but, I want to be able to be, a little bit better hitter. I know that's not the hitter, representation of the hitter I am, so got to be able to make some adjustments.
You mentioned the pull rate being as high as it was. I actually was surprised by it when I heard them talking about that. I know you do pull the ball a lot, but I was surprised that it was your highest rate. I really was, I'll be honest with you. But you felt that way? Even without looking at the numbers?
Yeah, I definitely knew that going into last year, going into the offseason.
Okay.
That I felt like that was going to be one thing that I'm going to have to adjust to where, getting a feel back to where I'm able to stay behind the baseball and use the whole field again.
Your role has kind of changed a little bit, being used primarily as the designated hitter. How will that affect the way you prepare for games and go about your business?
Yeah, it'll definitely be different. I'm going to have to kind of come up with a routine that I'm going to want to execute to where, I'm not taking too many swings during a game or things like that. But, it's definitely going to be a little bit different. But, we'll adjust and figure out a routine. But, it is what it is.
Well, and Rob did say you're going to play some outfield too, which obviously I know that's important to you to keep yourself in the game a little bit in the outfield too.
Yeah, being able to play out there, keep your mind in the game, but also too just to be able to give these guys who are out there every day, give them a day off their feet and be able to just take some at bats and keep them fresh. That's such a big thing. I don't want to be able to just say, this is the only position I'm going to be at. I want to be able to go out there and be able to give some guys give them breaks off their feet.
Well, I know it was nice to see everybody coming back in, but I thought about this. It's been a long time since this many familiar faces are back from one year to the next. Isn't that sort of comforting when you come back in?
Yeah, it definitely is. It's nice when, you walk into a room and, there's not many introductions to be made. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. When you come into camp, there's going to be a lot of, new guys on the minor league side that are coming up, and who could be a pretty big piece of what we're going to be doing. And but for the most part, on the major league side, that are going to be starting the year, it's almost the same team. And to be able to have that and to be able to know the personalities, know how everyone ticks, and what everyone likes, what everyone doesn't like, that's great.
Anybody in camp really kind of stand out to you as this? I know we're early in spring training, but anyone kind of stand out? Kind of, whoa! I didn't know that guy could do that.
It's funny just because it's like you got everyone. You know what I mean? It's the same group, a lot of the same faces around. Obviously you get to see Rojas a little bit more, and you pay a little bit more attention to the way that he's able to roam the outfield and see the way that he's going to progress and up at the plate. That's going to be exciting. What I mean? You look at some of these young pitchers. You look at Abel out here right now.
Yeah.
Who's throwing the rock. That could be a guy who's going to be able to step up and could be up there with us at some point. You never know. So, yeah, you just look around and you look at all the, obviously we have a young veteran group, but also to look at these younger kids who are coming up and, looking to make an impact. It's going to be awesome.
I also think, just from, we're talking about the pull rate and things like that, I feel like you guys have assessed more after last year because it was such a disappointing end. And maybe that's good, that you guys all, as Nick said, it's the first day in camp. I'm not even dressed, and we're talking about potentially being back in the World Series.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing is that it comes down to us. The front office has done a lot of great things for us, and ownership has done a lot of great things for us to put us in a really good position to have a great team. And now it comes down to us, and you want to be able to evaluate and look at yourself and say, how can I get better? That's the biggest thing. You want to be better, obviously, one for yourself, but if you can be 1%, 2%, whatever, better for the team, that's another way that you're able to take the next step.
How's Paco ball or pickleball going out there?
Paco ball is it's a lot of fun. It's actually pretty cool. We play with our offhands, and it gives you a whole new respect for hand-eye coordination with your other side. I mean, gosh, I stink. I am awful. I mean, I feel like I'm a newborn giraffe out there when it comes to hitting the ball.
That's so great.
Who's got game? Who's got the best game out there?
It's funny. I mean, so Rojas is actually really good, like offhanded, and it's really surprising. And then today we go out there, we play a dominant side game, and he's whacking stuff like homers. I'm like, dude, we got to switch back to left-handed. You got to switch back to your left hand. You're nasty left-handed.
Oh, so great. Well, when we walk by it, the best is listening to Paco explain it, like explain the whole thing, because we said, Paco, that looks like a pickleball court. He goes, well, it is. It's a Paco ball court.
Yes, exactly. And I think the good thing is too is obviously there's fun, there's competitiveness, there's things like that, but you're also working on different things. Obviously our offhand is our glove hand, and when you can work hand-eye, obviously hitting a ball with a racket, it's like having a glove on, and that's able to make that nasty catch or a sinking line drive, whatever it is, to be able to kind of replicate that with your eyes. Obviously the communication part with us, we're always talking about who has it, where we're going. That's going to be big for us, especially when we get back to Philadelphia, and it's going to be really loud, and we're going to have to be able to communicate with each other. So the more that we're able to do that, obviously still have fun with it, talk crap, compete.
That's right.
It's a lot of fun.
Well, we can't wait to get back to Philly, even though we're just getting started here. But thanks for joining us, Kyle.
Hey, I appreciate it, guys. Looking forward to it, and see you guys soon.
All right. Sounds good. Kyle Schwarber, our guest. He's right. It's cool to see somebody like Mick Abel out there who picked up 2 strikeouts in this 6th inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Phillies up 4-0.
Day.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Pennsylvanians are scratching their way to fun thanks to Pennsylvania Lottery scratch-offs. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Here at Baycare Ballpark, some Delco's cheesesteaks. See the sign out there to the left. Little Greek fresh grill as well. And Edgar Barkley is the new pitcher for the Yankees, facing Scott Kingery. Had a home run yesterday.
That's a big one, too. Left of the batter's eye in Dunedin.
Numbers last year for Scotty at Lehigh Valley. Fouled it away. It's 1-2. Got married this offseason, Scott Kingery. Congratulations to him. Pops it foul and out of play. It remains 1-2. He'll be followed by Castro, who's in the on-deck circle. Phillies did make some other changes defensively. Kingery's playing shortstop. Grounds that one over to third. Max Burt putting on a little bit of a footwork show over third. Pretty strong arm.
Yeah, especially thrown from that angle.
And here is Rodolfo Castro.
Sir Anthony loosening up.
By the way, Rob Thompson will join us in the top of the 8th inning today here at the great ballpark of Baycare. Castro off the hands, behind the mounds. And Cerna makes the catch. And there are 2 outs. There's Rob. Matt Crude is the batter. He homered yesterday, too.
Right field. Played with his papa.
Oh, did you really?
I did, Mark.
Phillies took him in the 18th round out of Oklahoma State in 2018. He was drafted 2 other times, 1 other time by the Phillies in the 30th round in 2017. So they liked him enough that they took him a couple times. He started at Oregon and then wound up transferring. They wound up at Oklahoma State, where he had 11 home runs, hit 300. Last year, he split time on 3 levels and hit .326 with 11 home runs and 58 runs batted in. 8 of those home runs came in Reading. Played 15 games in Lehigh Valley and hit .381 in those 15 games. Inside, 3-2. Where'd you play with his dad?
San Diego. His dad could touch triple digits. He had the biggest hands. And it was just like he was reaching out and handing the ball to you, but it was triple digits. He went over to cross the seas to play for a while.
Ground ball to shortstop. Uh-oh. And Peraza's having a little trouble today. Sunday baseball is back. Join us as we round out opening weekend at Citizens Bank Park, March 31st. The Atlanta Braves are in town. All fans in attendance will receive the 2024 schedule magnet presented by Valley Forge Tourism. Grab your tickets today at Phillies.com. William Simonite, the new catcher for the Phils, will be the batter. Double-A Midland last year, .237. You should have let your hair grow that long behind your catcher's mask.
I don't know how he plays with it like that, but to each his own.
pulled past Dusty Wathan. It remains 0-2. Ball took a bad hop, got away from the ball girl. There's Dusty. Simonite is out of Cornell. Transferred from Cornell to Wake Forest. 27-year-old. They got a good basketball team this year, Ben. Cornell.
Really?
Oh, yeah. South Jersey's own Brian Earl, their head coach.
Always comes back to Jersey, doesn't it?
Sure does. Well, of course it does.
It is the great Garden State, you know.
Yep. 0-2 pitch. That is way up there. In foul territory. And the inning is over. Everybody looks healthy. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits. One man left. We've played 6. We're on to the 7th. Phil's up 4-0. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda Dealers game summary. The Phillies got 3 in the 2nd inning. They did so on an RBI single by Christian Pache and an RBI single from Garrett Stubbs. Also an error led to a run. Pache homered in the 4th inning. And as we go to the top of the 7th inning, I don't want to say anything, Ben, but the Phillies pitchers have been striking out Yankee batters. 9 strikeouts, and they have not allowed a hit. Here's Agustin Ramirez to face Sir Anthony Dominguez. 57 games last year for Sir Anthony. A high bouncer to Castro. One away.
Didn't take long.
One away. Jared Cerna, the batter. Cerna up for the first time today.
"19 homers.
Yeah, just 21 years old from Mexico.
Not the biggest guy, but
No.
I don't care where you hit 19. That's a big number.
He is listed at 5'6".
Quick bat.
Those home runs, all 19 came down here in Florida when he played for Tampa. Also played at Hudson Valley. Hit .284 overall. 95 games he hit those 19 home runs for Tampa. One ball, 2 strikes. Not a whole lot to his setup either, but
no.
He does rear back before he lets it go.
Maybe it's the Bruce Bolt batting gloves. That could be it.
Could be. Fairly expensive. Whew. Do we have those in the house?
We do not.
Oh, we don't. Did we request them in the house?
Kids don't wear batting gloves.
No. Off the hands, out towards center. Well, there are 2 outs.
Now, the Bruce Bolts are a little bit out of my price range.
Get yourself a sponsorship.
I do have their stickers on my computer here.
Oh, you do?
I do.
That's cool. Should probably get you something. Wilson Rodriguez, the left fielder, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
These boys are hacking, aren't they?
They are. And the Phillies pitchers are throwing strikes. They have 1 walk today. There are very few deep counts because, as Ben said, the Yankees hitters are hacking. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
That's just pitch number 8. Fastball is exploding. That is a great sign. I think it goes without saying he's going to have to be a big part of this Phillies bullpen.
I would agree with that. Phillies are also scheduled to have Gregory Soto pitch today. They're going to probably need somebody else that's not on the docket to throw. How about Mick Abel and how good he looked today?
He looked great.
I know we were talking to Kyle the time when Mick was out there, but looked really good. There's Mick throwing again. It's all part of that hacking. I mean, yeah, just you needed to throw some more pitches because he is being stretched out to be a starter. 2-2. Over to second base. And Robert Moore is up with it. He throws it wide, but the tag by Bryce Ball is there. And the side is retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Yankees yet again. Time to stretch. Get on up, Ben. Phillies are on top 4-0. Hop across the pond and catch the Mets versus the Phillies at the London Series in June. Visit MLB.com/London Series to buy your tickets today. I'm looking forward to that. You know, I know it's a couple games that won't be in the States, but I've been over there for football, and it's great. I mean, this is what's coming up for the Phillies out of the gates in March and April. 6 versus the National League East. No games versus the Mets or the Marlins right out of the gate. Braves are improved again. They've added some pitching with Chris Sale, among other things. Simone Muzziotti leads it off for the Phillies. Out to short center. Greg Allen is in. It'll make the catch for the first out. Marcus Lee Sang will be coming up for the Phillies. Former 11th round pick. Whoa. Wow.
A long way the wrong way.
A long way the wrong way. 23 years old, out of Owings, Maryland. Former 11th round pick out of high school. Well, he is hacking.
Why not?
Last year, 11 home runs, 59 runs batted in, hit .254. 44 extra base hits. And he's down on strikes and 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Here's the roster report brought to you by Toyota. Remaining from the 2023 40-man roster, 33 players. Non-roster invitees. Phillies just added one more today, but 21. Carlos De La Cruz, who if you walk past in the hallway, you just kind of take a double take because of how big he is for being a position player.
Murph and I were marveling just how wide. I mean, his feet go pretty much the length of the batter's box in his setup.
Tries to be very short with his swing, too. And what it produced last year was 24 home runs and 67 runs batted in Double-A. I think the Phillies are excited to see what he will do this season as a follow-up. And he's got a big strike zone, and he's down looking on strikes to wrap up this 7th inning. 7 in the books here in Clearwater. Phillies head to the 8th inning on top of the Yankees, 4-0. Phillies baseball is brought to you by your Philadelphia area local Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDealer.com. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Make sure you're 18 or older if you're going to play. Phillies are up 4-0. We go to the top of the 8th inning. Gregory Soto takes over. And Rob Thompson joins us down on the field. Rob, your pitchers are looking pretty sound right now.
Yeah, they really are. You know, I'm happy with it today. We had some walks yesterday. Of course, I thought it was the first game for umpires, too. So, you know, they're trying to figure out their zone. I thought he was a little tight yesterday, but
yes.
No excuses. We had a few walks, but our guys are throwing the ball over the plate, getting ahead, staying ahead, getting soft contact. We got some strikeouts and one walk, and I think everybody's performed very well today.
I thought it was really nice to see Aaron fill the strike zone with velocity. We talked to him afterward. He sounded great.
Yeah.
That was a really good start for him to get things rolling this spring.
Yeah, it really was. And you know, he's worked hard in the offseason, and you know, his fastball was good. He located it. He threw a couple of good change-ups. I saw one really good knuckle curveball. So, yeah, I was really happy with that.
Topper, not a whole lot of spots remaining on this roster to head north. But tell us a little bit about how these guys compete in the professionalism, because these guys really take care of their own business.
Yeah, they really do, and they really fight for each other. And you know, there's a lot of guys here battling for, like you said, for a few spots, but they all support each other, and that's the great thing about this organization. It's a great thing about the people that we have here. No matter what happens, everybody knows it's going to take, you know, it took 44 players last year to get to where we got to. It took 56 players the year before to get to the World Series. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity during the course of the season.
Oof. How about that right there?
Yeah. Soto's throwing the ball really well. Bullpens, BPs, he's throwing strikes, he's keeping the ball down. It's a little bit different for him this year. You know, he doesn't have the visa issues. He's not getting in here late. You know, he's comfortable with everybody. He knows everybody. He knows the surroundings. I'm expecting a lot, big things from him.
And you mentioned the other day, and we kind of reiterated this today, you're comfortable with anybody in this bullpen, no matter what the spot is in the game, too. And that's something that not every team has.
No, that's for sure. We've got power arms down there. I'd like to get maybe a bit of length from somebody in those. You know, we got a couple spots that are open. One of those spots being kind of a length guy, but we've got a lot of power arms that we can use at any part of the ball game, really.
Topper, how much does that make him? You have that versatility out there, knowing that guys can fit different roles, whether that be the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning. But how much, managing is not easy, obviously, but how much, a little bit easier does that make your job?
Yeah, it's really, I mean, I love it because we have 3 really good lefties that we know of with Strom and Soto and Alvarado, and we got the 3 righties. Assuming Kirkring makes the club, we got Hoffman and Sir Anthony and Kirkring, and I just have as much confidence in all of them, really. And like I said, I can put them anywhere.
Yeah.
You can put them anywhere you want.
Well, here's Max Burt after the Yankees picked up the first hit. That's a flare off the end of the bat out to right field, but it's going to be caught.
Nice play.
Back is not in.
I'd go to replay on that.
Yeah, you would.
If we had it.
Particularly at this point in the game.
That's right.
I actually thought he was going to punch him out the way he started to show it.
Yeah.
So 2 away.
How was your off season, Topper?
It was good. It was busy. You know, we were doing a lot of stuff. I was in Philly for 3 times. I probably went back to Canada for about 20 days total. But I love being in Philly, and you know, we did the winter meetings, so there was a lot of stuff going on, and it kept me busy.
I don't know how you feel about this. Maybe this is a result of even your leadership too. I think guys have come back in assessing well after last year because they're still disappointed about losing Game 7 to the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think our pitching coaches and our hitting coaches have done a great job with making sure during their off-season programs that these guys stay on the same objectives that we're talking about. You know, whether it's throwing strikes or working on being quicker to the plate or working on eliminating chase, whatever it is. I think guys worked on it during the off-season, and they're in great shape. So I really feel good about that.
Are those the 2 main goals for pitching? Is filling the strike zone, but also for hitters to cut down on the chase rate?
Yeah, you're not going to eliminate it. I mean, guys that chase usually chase, but you can cut down on it.
Yep.
And you know, you don't want to take their aggressiveness away. You just want them to be aggressive in the zone or in their zone that they're happy with.
Topper, we met with you the other day, and you obviously stressed health.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you're doing maybe a little bit differently this spring training just to make sure these guys can stay on their feet?
Well, not really. It's just more about when the games start that you know, they stay under control. But as far as baseball stuff, you know, we're doing a lot more bunting this year than we have in the past, especially with a guy like Rojas. People that we expect to maybe sacrifice late in the game. Not that I'm a big sacrifice guy, but there are times I'm going to ask people to move runners up, and we need to get that done. We need to do those little detailed things to help us win ball games.
Well, 2 balls and 2 strikes to T.J. Rumfield here in the top of the 8th inning. Phillies are on top 4-0. And Soto delivers, and he hits it foul.
Oof, it's up.
Everybody all right over there, Tom?
I think so.
All right.
Everybody's healthy.
And it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Couple guys today. I know Abel, people have talked about, for a young kid, that looked really good today, didn't it?
It was, and it was good that he, get him out after one good inning. He really feels good going home. He finished up in the bullpen. I think he threw probably simulated another inning down there. But really the goal for me on a daily basis, whether it's spring training or during the regular season, is that every player, when they go home at night, they feel good about their day. Now, it's not always going to happen, but so to get Mick out after one inning and feeling really good about himself is what we want.
You told us the other day, you said the main thing you want out of Mick Abel is for him to look comfortable. He looked very comfortable today.
Yeah, he did. And he's going to get that way. The more he's around here, the more he gets familiar with his teammates. And I mean, we got stars on this team. So the more he does that, the more comfortable he's going to be.
Well, there's ball 4. That'll put runners on first and second. And Lockridge is scheduled to step to the plate for the Yankees.
You said you'd like to see Mick Abel kind of shadow some of the veteran guys. You said you mix them up with different guys on every day.
I thought that was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we do that with the position players. I mean, we do it with everybody because we know that when these guys come to the big leagues, we want them to be comfortable. And so to be comfortable, you got to get to know each other. And if you've got Trey Turner working with a young shortstop, you've got Harper working with a young first baseman. If something happens, they come up. They know what it's all about, and they're comfortable being around these guys, and that'll help them perform.
Rob, we appreciate it as always, and we look forward to later this week when you join us again.
All right, thanks guys.
Yep, Rob Thompson, our guest. The Phillies give up their first hit of the day. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning on top 4-0. Hey, it's time to bid on game used and autograph items from your favorite Phillies players. The Phillies auction is currently live and features items such as a Bryson Stott autographed 2022 World Series cap, a Trey Turner autographed baseball, home plate autographed by the members of the 23 team. All proceeds are benefiting Clearwater area charities. Go to Phillies.com/auctions. That was Robert Moore who just grounded out to begin the bottom of the 8th inning against Edgar Barkley, who seems to be finishing this game for the Yankees. And now Bryce Ball. Bryce Ball last year 9 home runs and 50 runs batted in. Former 24th round pick by the Atlanta Braves. Then with the Braves, the Guardians, the Cubs. Last year hit .237 in A ball 161 in Double-A for the Cubs. And then for the Guardians, hit 224. He had 8 home runs though for the Guardians. He's a big fella.
He sure is. He's made a nice play to end that top of the 8th inning.
He's listed at 6'4". He looks bigger than that, doesn't he?
He does.
Well, he's down on strikes, so 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Austin Bryce is warming up in the bullpen. And Scott Kingery will be the batter for the second time today.
This Edgar Barclay looks like Sandy Koufax out there. This guy's dealing.
I would think, and he doesn't overpower you speed-wise, but the way he delivers the ball, it's almost like a short armor.
He
might be
hides,
tough to,
yeah, he hides the
pick
heck
up.
out of it. Two and 2/3, no hits, no walks, 3 Ks for this guy. And he gets it and goes, doesn't he?
He sure does. Castro in the on-deck circle. 3 balls, 1 strike to Kingery. And outside ball 4.
I knew I'd jinx him.
So Rodolfo Castro, who popped out his first time up, will be the batter. Fouled away. Ball and 2 strikes.
Good rip at that one. Still a lot of folks here.
Yep.
Bottom of the 8th inning.
Well, the game is only 2 hours old.
Yeah.
That's softly hit out toward left field. It's going to drop in for a hit. Jesus Rodriguez tried to come up with it. Wilson may have gotten it. And that'll bring Kroon up for the second time. Now that puts runners on first and second. Kroon reached on an error his only time up. They're going to have a pitching change for the Yankees. Yeah, you did jinx him.
I sure did.
Poor guy. So he'll go 2 2/3. He allowed just the 1 hit. He struck out 3. But he's responsible for the 2 base runners. We'll be back here at Baycare Ballpark. The Phillies on top 4-0. Spring training may have just started, but Corey and Ricky are already in regular season form. Check out the latest Phillies Talk podcast where they discuss Bryce's move to first, the offseason additions, and more, presented by Team Toyota. We also may talk about some of the rule changes. What do you think, Ben? Anything that is odd on that? I think blocking the base is odd, but I also understand they're really trying to limit injuries.
Yeah. I mean, if that's the case, then don't slide head first.
I just think that the savvy part of the game is to try to, catch the ball, put your knee down, do whatever you can.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the biggest one, blocking the base.
Here's Bryce Warriker. He's the new pitcher for the Yankees. At his first pitch to Kroon, delivered outside. And it's 1 ball and no strikes.
20th round pick out of Cal Poly. Big fella.
He is big. .6'8". That one sweeps in, and it's a really odd delivery too.
Yeah, that can't be very comfortable from a right-handed hitter.
Particularly coming in at 6'8". On the inside corner, Yankees took him in the 20th round last year. He did not have any innings for the club in the minor leagues, at least according to the official stats. He may have just worked out in Tampa. Swing and a miss. I mean, he just ate up Kroon on that pitch. That is a tough one. And the side is retired. We'll go to the 9th inning. The Phillies working on a 4-0 lead over the Yankees when we get back. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Dear winter, 22 all-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive Toyotas are ready. Toyota, let's go places. By the Xfinity 10G network, the future starts now. By Citizens, official bank of the Phils. And by Independence Blue Cross. Learn more at ibx.com. Beautiful day here in Clearwater, Florida. The Phillies are on top 4-0. Austin Bryce will take over. And Bryce delivers the first pitch to Cowles up and away, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Bryce, former 9th round pick by the Marlins. He's been in the big leagues with Miami, with Cincinnati, Went back to the Marlins, Red Sox, and the Pirates. Hasn't been in the big leagues since 2022. Phillies signed him to a minor league deal with an invite to spring training. Always had a little funkiness to him.
Yep, some deception for sure.
His goal is just to keep the ball in the yard. Swing and a miss. That'll do it right there. That's 11 strikeouts today by Phillies pitching. There now, Ramirez will be the batting for the second time. He grounded out his first time up. Yeah, not many big leaguers playing for the Yankees today. I mean, there's some guys, but not everyday starters. But the Phillies pitchers have been around the strike zone all day long.
That is the key. Peace.
And even if they're not around the strike zone, they're close enough. And these guys are hacking. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2-1.
Again, somebody else that would not be very comfortable as a right-handed hitter. And Austin Bryce out there, he just ducks that left shoulder. A little bit of crossfire action.
And a call, strike 3. And then he dumps that in there. Yeah, they're 2 outs, 12 strikeouts today for Phillies pitching. Watch the movement on this pitch.
Yeah, front door breaking ball. Whoop. The other thing is he's from the far extreme left side of the rubber. You think against righties he would be even more so on the right side, create even more deception.
Cerner popped out his first time up. Last year Bryce pitched in 37 games in AAA. And his numbers were somewhat lofty. Oh, ice cream to end today.
Why not?
Two and one. Lots of Manco and Manco boxes walking around the ballpark. Reminder, our next telecast will be Wednesday. Phillies take on the Braves on NBC Sports Philadelphia Plus.
We'll be on the plus. Some more ice cream in a helmet.
Yep. New Fanatic BP hat. That's going to be a hot seller.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you agree with that?
That's very good looking.
Yeah.
It almost look like your pullover top.
Yes. I think it coordinates. Fouled away. It remains 2-2.
You know, from when you were in that promo.
Right. What's new around the ball, or I don't even know what it was called. Touring around the ballpark.
Frenchie's still going strong.
And it will be after the game. You come down here, you can stay at Frenchie's Tiki Bar for 90 minutes after the game. Gets to see, listen to some live music. It's where Greg West made his name so strong for so many years. There we go. Cul-de-sac's looking sharp that day. 3-2.
You gonna get a haircut when you're home?
Yes, I may. If I don't, I'll just do it myself.
It's getting a little lengthy up there.
It is. And that's the ball game. Austin Bryce just struck out the side, and the Phils shut out the Yankees 4-0 here this afternoon. They do so with 13 strikeouts from their staff. It all began with Aaron Nola, who had 3. Matt Straub had a couple. Mick Abel had a couple strikeouts as well. And then Austin Bryce finished things up with 3 strikeouts. Chevrolet players of the game, the Phillies pitchers, as they finished with 13 strikeouts. They allowed just 1 hit this afternoon. And everybody got their work in, and everybody was healthy. Not too shabby.
That's all that matters.
10,212 was the attendance today.
Wow.
A nice way to start the home schedule here in Clearwater, Florida. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Phils. Christian Pache picked up a couple RBIs today, including a home run. That was the only home run the Phillies hit. But the story today really was the Phillies pitching and how well they threw the baseball. They all finished strong. The Sheridans did a nice job as the bat boys today in their debut of the 2024 spring season. Dad Phil's in the dugout in the blue pullover, having a chat with them, just to kind of pep them up a little bit. Our next Phillies broadcast will come your way Wednesday when the Atlanta Braves visit Baycare Ballpark for the first time, 1 o'clock at NBC Sports Philadelphia Plus, or streaming on the NBC Sports app. The senior producer of Phillies baseball, Jeff Halleckman. John DeSangro is our associate producer, and today's director, Nick Marquetta. For Ben Davis and our crew, I'm Tom McCarthy. Thanks for watching, everyone. Phils win it 4-0. We'll see you back here in Clearwater on Wednesday for more Grapefruit League baseball against the Braves. Have a great rest of the afternoon.